Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So, Jace and Dedeker, how are we doing? Dedeker, let's start with you.
It's great. It's a nice, actually sunny day in Seattle for once. Yeah,
no, it's actually warmer here than LA right now.
I know, it is. Well, and by LA, you mean Santa Monica.
Well, that's
I don't know what it is up in the valley, but down here it's been quite lovely today, I must say. Yes.
Yep, it's
a good day.
We had to put up some extra fans to point at Dedeker's computer to keep it from overheating because it's actually warm here. And even the computers are not used to it.
Alrighty. Well, what happened last time? I'm trying to recall, and it's hard to.
Yeah.
Can somebody jog my memory, please?
Well, okay, Absalom was our main character du jour last time. Do you remember any trivia whatsoever about Absalom?
Is he a son-brother boy?
He's both a son and a brother.
Boy.
He's a both
okay,
son
hang on,
and a brother.
Jace, is he a son-brother boy, yes or no?
Yes.
Survey says
yes. Definitely.
Okay.
A son-brother boy.
And, I know. He was trying to overthrow the government of
David.
Yes.
The David government.
Who is related to him how?
Is it his son?
Hang on.
Not David, but is Absalom David's son?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good job.
Yes. David is the daddy. Absalom
Yes.
is the son-brother boy. Yes.
Yeah. And we came up with a theory that this is sort of a lesson that if you don't kiss your boys when they're growing up, they will eventually overthrow you. So it's got to be that.
Yes. Yeah. David was not kissing Absalom, and therefore Absalom later on was just like, you know what? We're done with you, David, and I'm going to be the big boy on campus now. The big son brother boy.
And remember that Absalom also had copious amounts of hair.
Yes, that's why we were going to have David Diggs play him.
Yes.
David.
Yeah.
Yes.
David Diggs. Yes.
Right.
Correct.
But this is just bonkers amounts of hair if the weights are to be believed, just like more than any human could grow, like Rapunzel style. So that's pretty exciting. However, content warning again for our listeners, this is the Bible and this shit happens a lot. And that is, do you remember the horrible stuff that happened toward the end last time that we're still in the middle of this? Had to do with
a sister got
no, that was a few episodes
That was an
ago.
older story.
story. No.
Yeah.
What happened?
Remember David left like 10 or 11 concubines behind to mind the house?
Oh, yeah. And then, did Absalom decide, like, I'm going to do all of them?
Yes, on the rooftop in public view of everybody.
Forgot about that. I don't know how I could have forgotten about that. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, exactly. And then the one other thing is that the reason why he did that is because he was told to do it by one of his counselors who was Ahithophel. So Ahithophel.
Not like Ahithophel, but like Ahithophel as one word.
Yeah, that's the name. Yes.
Great. Okay.
He told him to do that. But meanwhile, we know that David has sent back his double agent, who's Hushai. He sent back his double agent Hushai to try to make Ahithophel's advice turn bad, or to try to like knock out his seat of like being a wise person that everyone listens to.
Right. There's the spy versus spy that's going on.
Right.
Cool.
So we kind of left off right in the middle of that thought. So we're going to pick up immediately as we get into our reading for today.
Okay.
But in order to prepare for reading, what are y'all drinking today? What are you drinking, Emily?
I'm having a lovely tarantas tempranillo from España. Yeah, this is one of my favorite. Yeah, exactly. Tarantulas. This is one of my favorite wines, and I had some left over from a meal last night, so here it is. I'm enjoying it. It's lovely.
Excellent.
How about you, Dedeker?
Yeah.
So I, ever since we found a magic bullet in the house, we've been blending up everything. Absolutely everything. Everything we can get our hands on.
Yep.
Wait, I have a magic bullet and I love it. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
I use it to make like soups and tasty dressings. Oh, how lovely.
This episode of Drunk Bible Study brought to you by the Magic Bullet.
Magic Bullet.
Anyway, I blended up a nice frosty beverage of a margarita, and I made it kind of a double. Well, not really a double, like a 1.5. You know, I felt a little saucy. So
How many shots did you put in there?
Like 1.5.
Well, okay. When I usually do a margarita, like the shot, I usually put like 2 in there, and that's 1 for me.
Okay, now I understand.
So that's why I was like, how much did you actually
Pro mode
put
over
in?
here.
I love it.
Well, Dedeker's a lightweight, so
Yeah. Emily and I make our drinks more similar to each other. And I'm having a gin and tonic with this Junipero gin, which I bought honestly entirely because of the name and because it had good ratings. So
how lovely.
It's been great. Yeah.
Are we going to do this? What are we reading today?
Yeah. So today we are continuing on with the story of all these brother boys. If you want to read along with us, you can do that at drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in 2 Samuel 17 through 19, because that's what we're reading today. As we get started, we want to remind everybody to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
And with that, 2 Samuel 17.
Moreover, so we're continuing the story. Okay. Moreover, Ahithophel said to Absalom, "Let me now choose out 12,000 men, and I will arise and pursue after David this night. And I will come on him while he is weary and weak-handed, and will make him afraid. And all the people who are with him shall flee, and I will strike the king only, and I will bring back all the people to you. The man whom you seek is as if all returned, so all the people shall be in peace."
That was
made sense?
very confusing.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but okay.
Ahithophel wants to take 12,000 men or 12 units of men to go pursue after David. And he's saying, I'm just going to strike the king and I'm going to bring back everybody else to you.
Jeez.
Yes?
Okay, so you're saying that David's going to be tired because he's running? Because he's been running away, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
The saying pleased Absalom well, and all the elders of Israel. They're like, ho, 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 a wonderful plan.
Good. Wow. Love it.
Yes. Please go execute it.
Then said Absalom, "Call now Hushai the Archite also, and let us hear likewise what he says." When Hushai was come to Absalom, Absalom spoke to him, saying, "Ahithophel has spoken after this manner. Shall we do after his saying? If not, speak up." Hushai said to Absalom, "The counsel that Ahithophel has given this time is not good."
Wait a minute. Hushai is the spy versus spy.
Yeah, he's the double
He's the
agent.
versus spy.
Yes.
Yes, he's the versus spy. Sure.
Cool. Okay. Cool.
Okay. So he's like, this is not good. Not good. Hushai said, moreover, "You know your father and his men, that they are mighty men, and they are fierce in their minds, as a bear robbed of her cubs in the field. And your father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. Behold, he is hid now in some pit, or in some other place. And it will happen, when some of them are fallen at the first, that whoever hears it will say, there is a slaughter among the people who follow Absalom."
But even I thought that they don't want to slaughter anyone else. Just the king?
He's saying that it's not going to be so easy to find the king because he's going to be hiding in a pit or somewhere else. Which I love. I love this trend.
Anywhere else.
This trend in the Bible of people leading up to like they're going to make a list of things. And they go, and some other thing.
Any kind of raven. Any kind at all.
Right, like when Yahweh is like, I'm going to do some kind of a thing.
I wasn't expecting the spotlight to be on me for this long.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's saying it's not going to be so easy to find the king. You're going to have to kill some people. There's going to be some casualties. And as soon as word of that gets out, then, your cover's going to be blown. Okay.
Yeah.
Even he who is valiant, whose heart is as the heart of a lion, will utterly melt. For all Israel knows that your father is a mighty man, and those who are with him are valiant men. But I counsel that all Israel be gathered together to you, from Dan even to Beersheba, as the sand that is by the sea for multitude, and that you go to battle in your own person. I see what he's doing here.
In your own like you make your own decisions?
No, like
as in you
lead
should
them.
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
You should go in person.
Is he talking to the versus spy?
He's talking to Absalom.
Hushai, the versus spy, is talking to Absalom.
Thank you. Is talking to the spy.
No, the king.
Absalom.
The new king.
Who's the versus spy? Or sorry,
Ahithophel.
The spy prime and versus spy.
Yeah,
cool.
Spy Prime is Ahithophel, versus Spy is Hushai, and King...
And Ahithophel gave this particular advice, but now Hushai is giving counter advice, saying, no, that's not a good idea. He's trying to sabotage by saying, you should go out directly, Absalom.
Definitely. Do it. You'll be fine.
So shall we come on him in some place where he shall be found, and we will light on him as the dew falls on the ground. And
I think we need to take a drink for that one.
For which? For coming on him?
Emily wants to drink for that, yeah. All the middle school
fine.
jokes will drink for this, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Please continue.
And of him and of all the men who are with him, we will not leave so much as one. Moreover... There's a lot of moreover at this chapter.
Yeah, really, it started with moreover.
Yeah.
And one more
It's his favorite word.
Moreover, if he be gotten into a city, then shall all Israel bring ropes to that city, and we will draw it into the river until there not be one small stone found there. Okay, hold on, Hushai. Now you're starting to get a little big for your britches, where you're like, not only that, we will rope a city the way a cowboy ropes a steer and just pull it into the river.
Okay,
and that's our plan.
This is like a world in which trumpets will bring a city down.
All right, fair.
So they could lasso an entire city. Like that seems
By the
fair.
power of God, yeah. Okay, fair, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down to look up in the bonus content, because I am curious. I was like, was this a technique that was commonly used to deal with cities that we didn't like? Just pull them straight into the garbage? Okay. All right. Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the counsel of Hushai the Archite is better than the counsel of Ahithophel. Much more moreovers were mentioned. Clearly, he's the smarter man.
Many more moreovers.
Right.
For Yahweh had ordained to defeat the good counsel of Ahithophel to the intent that Yahweh might bring evil on Absalom. Okay. Then said Hushai to Zadok and to Abiathar the priest. Now remember, Zadok and Abiathar are also kind of like moles on the inside, working for David.
Okay, I was like, for whom?
He sent them. Yeah, David sent them back to the city. So they're kind of plants right now.
What was the guy that we talked about that had like two lines, and David was like, "You're a new friend. Go to
Ittai the Gittite."
That's him. Okay, but he's not here.
Itty Gitz. Yes. Okay.
He just had one little story. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Then said Hushai to Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, thus and thus did Ahithophel counsel Absalom and the elders of Israel, and thus have I counseled.
What?
Now, I am very surprised. Okay, I am very surprised because pretty much anytime the Bible has an opportunity to completely repeat what we literally just read, they take that opportunity. And so the fact that they actually shorten it to be like, oh,
they're over it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. That's
pretty
truly
awesome.
a first.
Yeah.
I think
round of applause Round of applause
Good
for the
job.
Bible writers for finally figuring that out. Yeah.
Good job. Well done. Let's. I'm not going to hold my breath. That's going to be, what they do from now on. But it was nice while it lasted.
Okay,
We'll see. Maybe.
Right. Okay, so thus and thus and thus and thus have I counseled. Now, therefore, send quickly and tell David, saying, don't lodge this night at the fords of the wilderness, but by all means pass over, lest the king be swallowed up and all the people who are with him. Now, Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying. Jonathan and Ahimaaz.
Are these random people, or do we know them?
We've encountered them before. They're part of David's troop, right?
I don't remember Ahimaaz, but maybe.
You don't? He's got many A's in his name.
There's a lot of boys with A's in their names right now, and that's a problem for me.
Okay. Now, Jonathan and Ahimaaz were staying by En Rogel, and a maidservant used to go and tell them. And they...
What?
Sorry, there's like a switch of tense in the middle of this. Let me just read the whole sentence, and we can see if we can parse it.
Okay.
And a maidservant used to go and tell them, and they went and told King David, for they might not be seen to come into the city. All right, help me out here.
Huh?
Yeah, that tense change was super weird. Here's what the message says. Jonathan and Ahimaaz were waiting around at En Rogel. At Seth Rogen. A servant girl would come and give them messages, and then they would go and tell King David, for it wasn't safe to be seen coming into the city.
I see, so they had a go-between, the servant girl.
Do you realize that, if we just read the message, this whole thing would make a lot more sense? Just immediately?
But would it be as fun?
No, maybe not.
Would it be as fun having to deal with a copyright claim every single week?
No, definitely not that. Definitely not that. I'm appreciative that we don't have to deal with that.
Okay, so servant girl, yes, all right. But a boy saw them and told Absalom. Oof. And they went, both of them, away quickly and came to the house of a man in Bahurim who had a well in his court, and they went down there.
Down the well? Or down to the court?
Down the well.
Yeah.
I think this boy spotted the spies and they had to book it.
It's like they spotted the boy spotting them, luckily.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Spotted the boys.
There's many
them.
spies and spies versus spies.
Spy versus
happening.
spy looking at each other.
Yeah.
Being like, are you a spy? You're also a spy.
Right.
Cool. Okay, so, all right. They go down a well. The woman took and spread the covering over the well's mouth and strewed bruised grain thereon, and nothing was known. She camouflaged it.
We've
Some
seen this
grain
move.
that somebody kind of stepped on a little bit. It had a little
We have
bruise
seen this
on
move
it.
because Rahab hid the spies on her roof and put grain on top of them, or sheaves of grain.
Yeah, it wasn't.
On top of them.
It wasn't bruised that time. This grain's been in a bit of a fight recently, I guess.
Yeah, it's in recovery.
Absalom's servants came to the woman to the house, and they said, "Where are Ahimaaz and Jonathan?" The woman said to them, "They have gone over the brook of water. When they had sought and could not find, they returned to Jerusalem." It happened, after they had departed, that they came up out of the well and went and told King David. And they said to David, "Arise you and pass quickly over the water, for thus has Ahithophel counseled against you." Again, shortening it. They're not repeating the whole thing that Ahithophel said that he wanted to do.
This is amazing. Wow. This is the best chapter yet.
Yeah, it is great. Okay. Then David arose and all the people who were with him, and they passed over the Jordan. By the morning light, there lacked not one of them who had not gone over the Jordan. When Ahithophel saw that his counsel was not followed, he saddled his donkey and arose
I don't
and got him
understand why
home.
they're all riding donkeys. It's very strange to me.
It's the fad, you know?
It was the fad of the time.
Yeah. He saddled his donkey and arose and got him home to his city and set his house in order and hanged himself.
What?
And he died and was buried in the tomb of his
Holy
father.
what?
Wow. Plot twist.
Wait. What? Is this the brother? The brother?
No.
The son brother?
Not the son brother
Ahithophel.
boy.
Ahithophel, Emily.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, and who's that? Oh, Spy Prime. Thank you,
yes.
Daniel. Thank you.
Spy Prime. Wait, but this is okay.
I got it.
Get this. So Spy Prime, Ahithophel, is so well regarded. Everyone thinks of him as being incredibly wise. They always do what he says, and then one time, the king doesn't listen to him, and he kills himself. That's super intense. And
Maybe
Wow.
it was more intense. Maybe they're not covering the fact that it was like more of a fall from grace, where
Yeah, maybe.
he feels more quickly replaced and there's no coming back. You know,
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, maybe.
that was a very quick escalation, though.
It really
Poor
was.
Ahithophel. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sad.
Then David came to Mahanaim. Absalom passed over the Jordan, he and all the men of Israel with him. Absalom set Amasa over the host instead of Joab. Now, Amasa was the son of a man whose name
Some guy.
was Ithra the Israelite, who went into Abigail, the daughter of Nahash, sister to Zeruiah, Joab's mother. All right, can we...
Different Abigail?
Can we unknit that puzzle?
Okay.
Amasa is the son of Ithra. Ithra banged Abigail, who is the sister of Zeruiah, who is the daughter of Nahash, who is the sister to Zeruiah, Joab's mother. So
Wait,
what?
wasn't there an Abigail that's married to David?
Yes, maybe it's a different Abigail?
I think this is a different
That's
Abigail.
really annoying if that's a different Abigail.
I think
okay.
this is a different Abigail. Okay, wait. So
But Zeruiah...
let me read this from the Message, just so it's a little easier to parse who's who.
Okay.
So Amasa is what they're calling him here.
Yes.
Was the son of a man named Ithra, and Ithra had married. Here it says married instead of just went into. Who married Abigail, who's the daughter of Nahash and also sister of Zeruiah, the mother of Joab. So that would make Abigail
Amasa.
Joab's cousin, right? Their parents were brother or were sisters.
No. She's a sister of Zeruiah, who is Joab's mother. So Joab is her nephew.
Oh, you're right.
Abigail is Joab's auntie.
Yep.
And
Totally.
therefore...
And lover?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
this new captain of the guard, Amasa, is the son of a man named Ithra, who we've now traced back, married.
So, okay, he's Joab's cousin.
He's
kind of
Joab's
Joab's cousin by marriage.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Jesus. Okay. All right.
I'm sure this is not relevant in any way to the story, but there it is.
Yeah,
But we just had to know which Amasa it was. Have to be
Right.
Which
very clear.
Abigail it was either. Just some
That's
random
true.
Abigail.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So Amasa, yes. Okay, Amasa. Israel and Absalom encamped in the land of Gilead. It happened when David was come to Mahanaim that Shobi, the son of Nahash of Rabbah of the children of Ammon, and Machir, the son of Amiel of Lodabar, and Barzillai, the
Those are
Gileadite
some
of
great
Rogelim,
names.
all these Pokemon, they brought beds and basins and earthen vessels and wheat and barley and meal and parched grain and beans and lentils and parched pulse
Are you
and
kidding
honey
me right now?
and butter.
Are you
and
making this
sheep.
up?
I am not. I am not. They listed out everything with an and in between it.
So
my
they're
gosh.
listing all of this, but thankfully they've kept us from having to like reread the story 7 times.
That's how they made up
So
for
that's
it.
good, I guess. Okay.
Oh, and breakfast cereals and fruit bats and orangutans. Okay, all right. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, beans and lentils and parched pulse, whatever that is, and honey and butter and sheep and cheese of the herd for David, and for the people who were with him to eat. For they said, the people are hungry and weary and thirsty in the wilderness.
Wow, how nice of them.
That's the end of my chapter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was fun.
Okay, definitely for the bonus, we're going to watch that scene from Monty Python and the Holy Grail about the Book of Armaments with the fruit bats and the
Okay,
breakfast
yeah, that's a good
cereals
one.
and
That's a
all
good
that
one.
stuff. I've saved that, set that aside for the bonus
Okay.
episode.
Is
Emily,
that why is that like referencing this specifically?
Well, sort of.
it's more
Okay.
about just sort of the tedium of some parts of the Bible, I think. But I never knew that there was a section like this that was almost like when you see the scene, it's
You'll
as if
see, yeah.
it was referencing this exact moment.
Maybe
Maybe,
it
it was.
is.
Maybe it was. Maybe Terry Pratchett,
Gilliam?
whoever those
Gilliam.
guys are. Those guys, maybe they knew the Bible a lot better than I thought they did. In any case, I'm going to continue us on now with chapter 18. David numbered the people who were with him and set captains of thousands and captains of hundreds over them.
David was captains of thousands or tens of thousands.
Tens of thousands, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
David sent forth the people, a third part under the hand of Joab, and a third part under the hand of Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, and, Joab's brother, and a third part under the hand of Ittai the Gittite. Hey, he's back.
Aww.
Wow.
Yay, he gets another
actually
scene.
has a role to
Good for
play.
him.
Yeah. Okay, so he split his army up into three parts under Joab, Abishai, and Ittai. Okay.
Okay.
The king said to the people, I will surely go forth with you myself also. But the people said, you shall not go forth, for if we flee away, they will not care for us. Neither if half of us die, they will care for us. But you are worth 10,000 of us. Therefore now it is better that you are ready to help us out of the city. That didn't make a lot of sense.
It also feels suspect to me, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I would be a little worried if all of your like best men were out fighting and you were left there by yourself. What if somebody ambushed you?
Well, okay, so actually, looking at the message here, it gives it a little bit of a different connotation, which maybe makes some sense. They say, no, you mustn't march with us. If we're forced to retreat, the enemy won't give it a second thought. And if half of us die, they won't do so either. But you are worth 10,000 of us. It will be better for us if you stay in the city and help from there. It almost is like if you're with us, they're going to more relentlessly massacre us to try to get to you, potentially.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
All right. So maybe it's some self-preservation.
Yeah, maybe. But also, yeah, maybe suspect. Maybe it was really just a few like loyal counselors who said this, but then later it was told, oh, all the people said this. They're like, no.
Yeah.
Don't fight with us.
Yeah.
Okay. The king said to them, what seems you best I will do? The king stood by the gate side, and all the people went by, hundreds and by thousands. I love the idea of he's like holding the gate for thousands of people
like,
walking out.
God. How did I get stuck doing this job?
Yeah.
Don't I have
I think
people
I was
for this?
tricked into this.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, I imagine he's sort of greeting all of them by name as they go by. He's like,
Zadok.
Abiathanin, Zadams, Zardak, little Timmy, you're growing up nice, whatever. He's kind of saying hi to everybody as they go.
I love it.
The king commanded Joab and Abishai and Ittai, saying, deal gently for my sake with the young man, even with Absalom. Oh, okay.
He is my son after all.
Yeah.
I probably loved him at some point. Maybe still do. I don't know.
But not enough to touch him. Let's be clear.
Right.
He kissed him
Or
that
see
one
his
time.
Face, really.
He kissed him that one time.
Not enough.
All the people heard when the king gave all the captains charge concerning Absalom. So no backsies on that one. Everyone knows. Got to be gentle. So the people went out into the field against Israel, and the battle was in the forest of Ephraim. The people of Israel were struck there before the servants of David, and there was a great slaughter there that day of 20,000 men. I think
Lots of dudes.
I think David's team's winning, though.
Yeah.
Were struck there before the servants of David. Any ideas? Any guesses? Before
Before them, I feel like before them is like the victor, so the servants of David are the victors.
Yes,
Okay.
you are correct.
Yes.
It's like a mini Bible quiz. Okay. I just checked the message, and that is correct.
Oh, good. Okay.
For the battle was there spread over the surface of all the country, and the forest devoured more people that day than the sword devoured.
What?
What?
How did Wait, did they lasso the forest like they said that they would?
No, that was the city they were going to lasso.
Oh. Oh, people are saying that it's Ents and Isengard. From Isengard.
Can you read that one more time, please?
Yeah. The battle was there spread over the surface of all the country, and the forest devoured more people that day than the sword devoured.
Gosh, maybe it is the Ents. Goodness.
Yeah.
I like how the forest just like has a giant maw, and it's like we need to eat. It's like the what is it? The chick from Daniel, help me.
Are you talking about Little Shop of Horrors?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
It's like, feed me,
Feed me,
David.
Seymour.
Feed me,
Exactly,
David.
exactly. Yes, Audrey too. Exactly.
Okay. Great.
It's a giant Audrey too.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's super weird. Maybe there's like a lot of bears or scary
Oh, yeah. Sean in the
creatures.
chat is saying maybe it's like the fire swamp from Princess Bride.
Oh,
The
that's
ROUSs and the quicksand and all that stuff.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Absalom
Cool.
happened to meet the servants of David. Oh, okay. Just kind of ran across him. Absalom was riding on his mule, and the mule went under the thick boughs of a great oak, and his head caught hold of the oak, and he was taken up between the sky and earth, and the mule
like-
that was under him went on.
Okay.
Wait,
all right,
wait. Oh,
hold
so
on.
the guy, Absalom, got taken, and then the mule was like, duh, 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 duh. I don't, what, oh, I'm a lot
Yeah,
lighter
just-
now.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Finally.
So either it's like a comedy film where the mule was like going along and Absalom's glorious hair got caught in the branches and the mule just kept on going and then his little legs are kicking, or it is also an Ent who just like snatched
grabbed
him
him.
by the hair
that
off of
makes
his
sense.
mule. Gosh.
The Ent story's cooler, I will say.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, yeah. So the mule just went on. A certain man saw it and told Joab and said, "Behold, I saw Absalom hanging in an oak." Joab said to the man who told him, "What the hell are
Really
you talking about?"
strange. I'm pretty sure that was Absalom. Like, what would he be doing up there? I don't know.
I was in this crazy ass forest and I
Yeah.
don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Joab said to the man who told him, "Behold, you saw it, and why didn't you strike him there to the ground? And I would have given you 10 pieces of silver and a sash." It says,
Oh,
"Best killer of Absalom." Across.
What year was this? Like BC 14 something,
Yeah, something like that.
1400 something.
world's best Absalom murderer.
I think we're around 10,000-ish. I forget. It's been a while since we looked at a timeline.
Also, only 10 pieces of silver? That's not very much.
I mean, but maybe for a common person, that would be a large amount.
Okay. Okay.
Well, you know, we're used to talking about the size of kings' crowns and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of which, Emily, we never told you that we did put together a 75-pound weight to lift it up and see if we could put it on our heads. I could do it, as I
Because
predicted.
remember, yeah, because Emily, remember it was like
as I predict. Okay. Yes.
David like killed that king whose
Yeah.
crown was like 70 shekels or
it was like
a
20,000
6,000
shekels,
something. Yeah, and it worked out to be like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could
remember.
do it too. I could lift it too. It was just the kind of thing where I was like, I don't want this on my head though.
Yeah. Of course not.
It's freaking
Yeah.
heavy.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay. The man said to Joab, "Though I should receive 1,000 pieces of silver in my hand."
See?
He said the same thing as Emily. He's like,
See,
10.
exactly.
"Though I should receive 1,000 pieces of silver in my hand."
And I want 2 sashes.
I want sashes and a scepter and a crown and a
Yeah.
tiara.
I still wouldn't put forth my hand against the king's son. For in our hearing, the king charged you and Abishai and Ittai, saying, "Beware that none touch the young man Absalom."
It's a smart boy.
Yeah.
He's a very smart boy.
Maybe he'll get 1,000 silver for not killing him.
Cool.
Otherwise, if I had dealt falsely against his life, and there is no matter hid from the king, that was in parentheses, then you yourself would have set yourself against me. Then said Joab, "I may not wait thus with you."
Okay.
I may not wait thus with you. He took 3 darts in his hand and thrust them through the heart of Absalom while he was yet alive in the midst of the oak.
Oh,
Yikes.
dear. So Joab was literally, and reminding everyone that we cast this as Jonathan Banks, who was literally just like, I don't have time for this shit. Kashunk.
Yeah, he's like, no more half
and that's
measures.
a very yeah, exactly. That's a very Jonathan Banks and Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul thing to do.
Yep.
Appropriate.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
Well,
So-
all right. Well, he did.
It gets a little more confusing, though. So he took 3 darts. I'm assuming these are big darts, but maybe they're just little tiny
Yeah,
Like
what a
poison
weird,
darts
what a
or they-
weird, what a strange
like a-
weapon of choice.
Yeah. And
He's
but
like
then,
doing
yeah.
target practice on him.
then, next sentence is 10 young men who bore Joab's armor compassed about and struck Absalom and killed him. So, like, that didn't even
so they-
kill him. Then they, like,
Maybe they were poison darts to make him tranquilize or something.
maybe.
Go down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joab blew the trumpet, and the people returned from pursuing after Israel, for Joab held back the people. They took Absalom and cast him into the great pit in the forest. Oh, okay. There's some new lore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
For
Wait a
the
minute. I
Sarlacc
thought that
lives.
they said make sure that this boy is safe.
Yeah, but Joab's
They did,
like,
yes.
no half measures.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure Joab's going to get done in for.
No.
Yeah, I think he might.
Jonathan.
Yeah.
Banks. Okay.
Okay, don't confuse that with the actual Jonathan in the story.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay, so they took Absalom and cast him into the great pit in the forest. That's a super cool set piece that we'll have to have in our movie.
Giant pit in the forest.
Yeah, exactly. And raised over him a very great heap of stones, and all Israel fled everyone to his tent. Okay, Israel in this case being Absalom's people. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Now, Absalom, in his lifetime, had taken and reared up for himself the pillar, which is in the king's dale. For he said, I have no son to keep my name in memory. And he called the pillar after his own name, and it is called Absalom's monument to this day.
Wait, so he adopted a pillar because he didn't have a son?
Yeah.
What is going on?
So he's like, this pillar will be my son,
Yeah.
and this pillar will be king when I die.
I bequeath to my favorite stone plinth.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Cool.
Jeez.
Okay, it's Absalom's monument to this day. Then said Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, let me now run and bear the king news, how that Yahweh has avenged him of his enemies.
He's not going to be happy.
Joab said to him, you shall not be the bearer of news this day, but you shall bear news another day. But this day you shall bear no news, because... because the king's
Really
son,
got Dedeker.
yeah,
No, just the next time that we're having a business meeting and it's like someone's got to send an email to somebody or
It's like, you're not going to do that today.
You're
You're
not
going to do it
gonna-
on another day.
Yeah, and furthermore,
Not right now.
moreover, you shall bear no news this day.
Yeah.
oh boy, but this day you shall bear no news, because the king's son is dead. Then said Joab to the Cushite, go, tell the king what you have seen.
Oh, he's
no.
like, too bad. You're going.
Oh, he's switching who the messenger is.
Because he thinks the messenger's going to get killed.
Ugh.
And
So
in
he's
this
like,
case,
don't care about this Cushite.
Cushites, it's Itai, I think.
Was it?
No,
Was
no.
it Itai? No, he was the Gittite. He's a
He's a
Gittite.
Gittite.
He's a Gittite.
Who's the Cushite then?
I don't know.
Well, if I do a word search for Cushite, nothing comes up. Not even in
Cool.
yours. What? Why is that not coming up? Is it case sensitive?
It's Cushite
No.
with a C.
Oh,
from
with a
in
C.
here.
That's why. Because I'm spelling it the marijuana way. Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
This is the first time the Cushite is mentioned. So at least
Oh,
in
okay.
our reading for today, it could have
Okay.
been mentioned in earlier readings, but
Probably.
yeah.
Right. Okay. The Cushite bowed himself to Joab and ran. Then said Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok, yet again to Joab, "But come what may, please let me also run after the Cushite." Ahimaaz really wants to go, yeah.
Really wants to die.
Joab said, "Will you run, my son, seeing that you will have no reward for the news?" "But come what may," said he, "I will run."
Wow.
I will love you till my dying day.
Exactly. That's what I thought. I was like, this is freaking Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
He said to him, "Run." Then Ahimaaz ran.
So much drama. Gosh.
Wow. Okay. I think Ewan McGregor needs to be this guy.
No, hold on. We are not wasting a Ewan McGregor casting on this freaking guy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I veto that. He is my boyfriend, and I have a say in who he gets cast as.
Wow.
Yeah. Goodness.
Okay.
Gonna put him on the casting list, though.
Okay. Then Ahimaaz ran by the way of the plain and outran the Cushite. Oh, clever. Now, David was sitting between the two gates, and the watchman went up to the roof of the gate, to the wall, and lifted up his eyes.
To the window.
Yes. And looked, and behold, a man running alone. The watchman cried in his pillow. No. The watchman cried and told the king. The king said, "If he be alone, there is news in his mouth." He came apace and drew near. The watchman saw another man running, and the watchman called to the porter and said, "Behold, another man running alone."
What gives? What's happening?
The king said, "He also brings news." The watchman said, "I think the running of the foremost is like the running of Ahimaaz, the son of Zadok." He has a very particular running style.
Yeah, I'm just imagining he's a very unique running style. Just kind of like lots of like hand motions and legs flying everywhere. You could recognize that from a mile away.
The king said, "He's a good man and comes with good news." Ahimaaz called and said to the king, "All is well." He bowed himself before the king with his face to the earth and said,
Classic.
"Blessed be Yahweh your God, who has delivered up the men who lifted up their hand against my lord the king." The king said, "Is it well with the young man Absalom?" Ahimaaz answered, "When Joab sent the king's servant, even me your servant, I saw a great tumult, but I don't know what it was."
What?
So he's kind of
he
being
lying?
vague. He's like, there was a
playing
commotion.
dumb?
I think he's playing dumb.
Somebody like ended up in a tree.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know.
someone was in a tree. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah. Who knows who it was? But I came to tell you about it. Thought it was important.
The king said, "Turn aside and stand here." He turned aside and stood still.
Oh boy.
Behold, the Cushite came. And the Cushite said, "News for my lord the king, for Yahweh has avenged you this day of all those who rose up against you." The king said to the Cushite, "Is it well with the young man Absalom?" The Cushite answered, "The enemies of my lord the king and all who rise up against you, do you hurt, be as that young man is." What?
As in dead?
"And all who rise up against you to do you hurt, be as that young man is." The king was much moved, and went up to the chamber over the gate, and wept. As he wept, thus he said, "My son Absalom, my son Absalom, would I had died for you, Absalom, my son, my son."
Oh.
That's the end of the
he
chapter.
is sad,
He is
after
sad.
all.
And I guess he somehow
He's a sad
gathered
dad.
from this cryptic thing the Cushite said that he's dead.
That he's dead. Yeah.
Interesting. It's someone, Daniel in the chat is saying that this is the part that was often set to music by classical composers. Lovely.
Yeah. I like it. Okay, so I think what I remember reading and learning before is this is always taught as this lesson about like what a good guy David is. And I have my doubts about David being such a good guy, as we've talked about on this show. But I do actually like the idea, though, that, I mean, he is still his father. And I actually do like that. I like that this kind of humanizes the character and makes him real. You know, he's not one-dimensional. It's like, yeah, he's his enemy. Yeah, he wanted to beat him, but he also didn't want to kill him because it's his son. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of... It's like some character depth that we don't get in a lot of other books so far, where people are pretty one-dimensional, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
We contain multitudes. These people contain much.
Yeah.
This is true. On that note, if you want more of these pithy, deep philosophical quips from us...
Could we do a thing like they do in churches where they really encourage you to like bring a friend next time?
Oh, boy.
It's like next time you come, bring a friend.
Whoa.
But
did they do that?
For those of you who've been to churches, we will not make them stand up and introduce themselves. We
will not do an altar call.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. They just get to come and hang out. So if you got friends who are into it, pass them a link. Pass them a link and bring it along. Yeah, we should promise pizza. If you could order pizza for your friend while they watch with you, that would be great. I think it'd be a little...
that was definitely how my church did it growing up.
The pizza?
Well, okay, so at my high school was like walking distance from my church, and so every time there was a half day, they would, essentially the church would open and they would do like a pizza meetup where it makes total sense that they would offer like, hey, it's a half day, your parents still have to work, so you can come to the church, hang out until 3:00, have pizza, we're going to put on some Christian music videos, you know, and try to
awesome, actually,
and force you to kind of lead in a prayer before you get to actually eat the pizza. I had a lot of awkward high school dates that I took to half day pizza day at my church. Anyway,
that sounds very awkward.
Now, was it like for each friend you brought, you got to have one slice of pizza at yours?
Ooh.
Or no, you just I don't know. It was the way that you would kind of like soft test out people that you wanted to try to bring to church, you know, is by bringing them to pizza day where there's no real compulsory activities other than hanging out while there's Christian music videos going on in the background.
Or that you wanted to date, right? If you were super religious, it's like, did they like the church? I don't know.
Did
just
they
assuming.
stop talking to me after I brought them to church?
Right.
Yeah. You know?
That's a good test. Yeah.
Yay. And now it's my turn to read this very long chapter, 19. Strap in, everyone. Okay. It was told Joab, behold, the king weeps and mourns for Absalom. The victory that day was turned into mourning to all the people, for the people heard say that day, the king grieves for his son. The people got them by stealth that day into the city, as people who are ashamed steal away when they flee in battle.
Huh.
So they were sneaky. They were sneaky and ashamed.
Who is this David's people sneaking away?
I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
The people who got them by stealth that day into the city, as people who are ashamed steal away when they flee in battle.
Yeah, so they snuck into the city.
Yeah, so rather than a big triumphant like victory return, it's
I see. They're
just going to kind of sneak on
awkward.
Right, because David's sad. It's not like a big triumphant. We killed the opposing party. We did that,
son.
but also it's your son.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. So the king covered his face, and the king cried with a loud voice, "My son Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son."
A little bit different from Jace's interpretation, but okay.
Sorry. Yes, he's just yelling at this point. Joab came into the house to the king and said, "You have shamed this day in the faces of all your servants, who this day have saved your life and the lives of your son and your daughters, and the lives of your wives and the lives of your concubines, in that you love those who hate you and hate those who love you."
Oh, so Joab's throwing shade that he's sad.
This sounds like something Jonathan Bank might say.
He's really pushing his luck here.
Yeah. Okay. "For you have declared this day that princes and servants are nothing to you. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived and we had all died this day, then it had pleased you as well."
Yeah.
"Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably to your servants. For I swear by Yahweh that if you don't go forth, there will not stay a man with you this night, and that will be worse for you than all the evil that has happened to you from your youth until now.
Jeez, Joab.
Wow.
He's
Joab is
saucy.
like- he's very saucy. I'm surprised that he's allowed to say this. Goodness. Wow. All right. Then the king arose and sat in the gate. They told all the people, saying, "Behold, the king is sitting in the gate." And all the people came before the king.
Great. What a great interaction that was.
He's there. Go. Now Israel had fled every man to his tent. All the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, "The king delivered us out of the hand of our enemies, and he saved us out of the hand of the Philistines, and now he is fled out of the land from Absalom. Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why don't you speak a word of bringing the king back?" So they're like getting the king back to his proper place
Yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
Okay. King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, saying, "Speak to the elders of Judah, saying, why are you the last to bring the king back to his house, seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, to bring him to his house?" You
So,
are
okay.
Yeah, okay, we gotta
I don't know.
pause
I'm
for a
interpreting
moment.
this as like the tribes are kind of taking a little bit of a vote or a consensus of, okay, so I know we like anointed Absalom, but he's dead now, and David's still out there, and he was a good king, to be fair, so we should probably bring him back and reinstate him.
I see.
And I think the tribe of Judah is holding out.
It's
Oh,
like,
I see.
I don't know.
Because I'm also thinking they're like, so like on Absalom's side, the heir is this pillar. And while like, I guess that pillar's not going to screw
it's a good
us
pillar.
over. Yeah, it's a nice.
It's a good pillar. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it is a pillar.
Yeah.
So
It would probably take less upkeep than a king requires.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
this pillar is probably not going to give us any more pillars.
Right.
So
That's true.
yeah.
Although the pillar
Yeah.
may never die. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
Okay.
maybe more stability with a pillar as your king.
As it were, yes.
I was
All
just going
right.
to point out here
Yeah,
that,
yes.
that this is one instance where the message actually seems to have more old-timey language than our
Really?
version does. So it's he sent word to Zadok and Abiathar the priests, "Ask the elders of Judah, why are you so laggard in bringing the king back home?"
Laggard.
Whereas in the World English Bible, it was just like, "Why are you so slow in doing this?" It was just like a
Wow.
normal human word instead of
What a role reversal.
Indeed. Yeah. Wow. "You are my brothers. You are my bone and my flesh. Why then are you the last to bring back the king? Say you to Amasa, aren't you my bone and my flesh? God do so to me, and more also, if you aren't captain of the host before me, continually in the room of Joab." What is happening?
Whoa.
Say that again?
"If you aren't captain of the host before me, continually in the room of Joab."
So, okay, as in like Amasa's going to replace Joab once David's reinstated?
Let me check the message.
Is that what's happening?
Let me check the message
know.
here. So, right. So David's sending this message to the elders of Judah, who are the ones holding out, right? Being like, "Why aren't you just bringing me back? You're my brothers, my flesh and blood. Why are you the last ones to bring the king back?" And then he tells these same messengers also tell Amasa, who was the one that, gosh, I've already forgotten names. This is the second drink now, and
Amasa?
it's getting to me.
Amasa?
Abiathar,
Oh,
right? Is that the right one? Absalom. Sorry. Gosh, the A names. I hate it. Absalom put Amasa, who is the cousin of Joab, in charge of the army in place of Joab, right?
Yes, correct. Yes.
So now David is saying, "Tell Amasa, you too are my flesh and blood. As God is my witness, I'm making you the permanent commander of the army in place of Joab."
Okay, right. You're not going to get
Whoa.
demoted. You're not going to get demoted, so don't worry about supporting me, is
Okay.
what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent to the king, saying, Return you and all your servants.
Joab's going to be pissed about this.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Joab is not going to be happy.
No. So the king returned and came to the Jordan. Judah came to Gilgal and to go to meet the king, to bring the king over the Jordan. Okay.
Cool.
Shimei.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Shimmy's back.
Shimei. Yeah.
Shimmy, Cocoa Puff.
Exactly. The son of Gera, the Benjamite, who was of Bahurim, hurried and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. There were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons and his 20 servants with him.
Jeez.
Gosh.
And they,
Full brood.
I know, a ton. And they went through the Jordan in the presence of the king. There went over a ferry boat to bring over the king's household and to do what he thought good. Shimei, the son of Gera, fell down before the king when he was come over the Jordan. He said to the king, Don't let my lord impute iniquity to me, neither do you remember that which your servant did perversely the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart.
What?
Was Shimmy on Absalom's side? And that's why Shimmy is now, oh my goodness, please don't punish me?
Maybe?
Yeah. The message, it says that he says, Don't think badly of me, my master. Overlook my irresponsible outburst on the day my master, the king, left Jerusalem. Don't hold it against me.
Oh, okay.
An outburst seems maybe smaller than siding with my enemy, but
yeah,
maybe.
You know. For your servant does know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come this day.
Oh, Brady just said in the chat, he's the one throwing rocks. Remember, he's
He
the
was
one who
the guy
followed
throwing
them
rocks?
throwing rocks.
He's throwing dust?
Yeah. And kicking
The rock
dust.
guy.
I forgot
Now
that
it
happened,
makes
honestly.
sense.
I didn't remember that.
Now it makes
I
sense.
see. So that was his outburst. Okay.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So, for your servant does know that I have sinned, therefore, behold, I am come this day, the first of all the house of Joseph, to go down to meet my lord the king.
Oh.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
He's trying to make amends.
So he's like the first guy there. Okay. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, answered, Shall Shimei not be put to death for this because he cursed Yahweh's anointed?
Ugh, dude, you're not helping.
Yeah.
David said, What have I to do with you, you sons of Zeruiah, that you should this day be adversaries to me? Shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel? For don't I know that I am this day king over Israel? The king said to Shimei, You shall not die. The king swore to him. Oh, that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah. Mephibosheth, the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and he had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes from the day the king departed until the day he came home in peace.
Gosh, I wonder
So
how
he
long
was
that
looking
was.
rough.
Yeah, we don't know how long this has been doing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is this like
know.
a year? Has it been a month or
Yeah,
a couple weeks?
goodness.
It seemed
It
to go
happened when-
fast, but
Yeah, it did, but, that's Bible timeline. Who knows what the time frame actually is. It happened when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said to him, Why didn't you go with me, Mephibosheth? He answered, My lord, O king, my servant deceived me, for your servant said, I will saddle me a donkey, that I may ride thereon, and go with the king, because your servant is lame.
All right, yeah,
Mephibosheth, right?
Mephibosheth has the busted legs.
Mephibosheth is Jonathan's son,
Jonathan's son, yes.
Yes, okay.
who he took the inheritance away from. David took his inheritance away. Do you remember that? Like an episode or two ago?
No, I don't remember that.
No.
Really?
That wasn't nice. Why did he do
Really?
that?
I don't remember that.
What a meanie.
I think it was because he sided with Absalom. I thought it was something not too long ago.
Really?
I'll see if I can find it. Continue on.
Okay. He has slandered your servant to my lord the king, but my lord the king is as an angel of God. Do therefore what is good in your eyes. For all my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king, Yet you set your servant among those who ate at your own table. What right, therefore, have I yet that I should cry any more to the king? The king said to him, why speak you any more of your matters?
Why are you talking to me?
Like,
I say, you and Ziba divide the land. Mephibosheth said to the king, yes, let him take all, because my lord the king come in peace to his own house. Barzillai, the Gileadite, came down from Roglium, and he went over the Jordan with the king to conduct him over the Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king with sustenance while he lay at Manaheim, for he was a very great man.
Yeah, he was the one who brought the whole freaking grocery list.
How
to
lovely.
David.
Lovely.
Wait, he was? Barzillai was? I thought
Yeah,
that...
he and a couple other dudes were.
I thought that
okay.
was Ziba that brought all that.
No.
Ziba, warrior princess. I don't know.
Ziba had nothing. It was Barzillai and Mahir and Shobi were the guys who brought
Shobi.
all this stuff.
Shobi? Not
Yes.
Shimmy?
No, Shobi, not Shimmy.
Who the hell is Shobi? Okay, I'll just take your word for it. The king said to Barzillai, come you over with me, and I will sustain you with me in Jerusalem. Barzillai said to the king, how many are the days of the years of my life that I shall go up with the king to Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old. Can I discern between good and bad? Can your servant...
He's like, I am basically senile.
Yeah, he's like, can I discern between good and bad? Can your servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Why then should your servant be yet a burden to my lord the king? Your servant would but just go over the Jordan with your king, and why should the king recompense it to me with such a reward? Please let your servant turn back again, that I may die in my own city by the grave of my father and my mother. But behold, your servant, Chimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good to you.
Who is Shimham?
Chimham.
I don't know.
What?
Chimham.
Is that new?
Yeah.
Chimham. Some guy. Chimham.
Chimham. Chimham.
Yeah, Chimham.
The message writes it as Kimham with a K at the beginning instead of a
That's
CH.
boring. I like Chimham.
Chimham.
I want to say Chimham. The king answered him, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good to you. And whatever you shall require of me, that I will do for you.
Wow.
All the people went over the Jordan, and the king went over, and the king kissed Barzillai and blessed him, and
Emily,
he returned.
Go look at that name one more time.
Barzillai.
I don't think
There
two
you
L's
go.
two L's doesn't do the in this. I don't
In
think
English.
Yeah.
In our English pronunciation
In this,
Of
this
Hebrew
is
names.
like Aramaic.
Yeah, Barzillai, and blessed him, and he returned to his own place. So the king went over to Gilgal, and Chimham went over with him, and all the people of Judah brought the king over, and also half the people of Israel. Cool. I'm not
boy.
done yet. I'm not done.
Oh gosh.
I'm not done.
You got a little bit
Okay.
more to go.
A little bit more. Behold, all the men of Israel came to the king and said to the king, why have our brothers, the men of Judah, stolen you away and brought the king of his household over the Jordan and all David's men with him? All the men of Judah answered to the men of Israel, because your king is a close relative to us. Why then are you angry for this matter? Have we eaten?
Hold on.
What-
Who is angry at who and why?
The Israelites are mad at the Judites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are they mad at him?
I don't know.
They're mad because they brought David back?
I think
Sure.
because they're walking with him. That's like they were the ones the least on his side. So it's like, why do you get to be with the king now?
Oh, okay. So why are you in favor now?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're like, because he's a close relative, why then are you angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all the king's cost? Or has he given us any gift? The men of Israel
I see, so they're like, we're not getting favoritism. Like, has he given us cool things? No, like he's our family member.
No, we're just standing there. We're just walking. Okay, we're walking here.
Yeah. Okay.
The men of Israel answered the men of Judah and said, we have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than you. Why then do you despise us that our advice should not be the first had in bringing back our king?
Okay, yeah, they're just having a little sibling rivalry here.
A little pissing contest, yeah.
But all the tribes versus Judah, I guess.
I don't know. The words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel.
So they had a much better rap battle.
Yeah, that's exactly what that means. That totally means that they won the rap battle. Yeah, their words were fiercer.
All right, well, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a roller coaster that was.
A lot happened. A son died.
Yeah,
a father mourned.
In the tree, there were Ents, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, in our movie, definitely will be Ents. Yeah.
There is, this whole thing of like, no, you're not going to give news this day. You're going to give news another day. And furthermore, no news this day. That whole bit, and Absalom having a pillar as his child.
Heir.
His child pillar, definitely.
Yeah, people running around. That guy who had the very distinctive running style. That was a lot.
Can't forget about him.
A lot.
Yeah,
for one episode. Wow.
And not once but twice were we spared repetition by them saying and so on and so on.
Yes, that was definitely the most groundbreaking part of all of this is the fact that we discovered paraphrasing.
Yeah, like Bible technology.
You mean the Bible?
Yeah,
discovered it.
Yeah.
We're watching writing technology evolve through the Bible right here.
It's good. It's really good. It's very helpful.
Wow. Okay, Emily, do you have any inkling of what might happen next?
I mean, clearly these two tribes hate each other, so we're gonna have to figure out the implications of that. I'm assuming
it's not just two tribes; it's like the 11 tribes of Israel against
Judah.
One tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We might talk about that a little bit in our bonus. That might be one of the things we look up for that, because that's kind of, I think, setting up some things that's gonna be a bigger deal as we go. So I think this will become significant, that this isn't just sort of a one-time little random thing, but we'll see. We'll do a little research on that. We'll do that for the bonus.
Yeah.
Also, just to warn the two of you, we only have 2 more episodes of 2 Samuel.
Oh boy.
And then we will be on to 1 Kings. Yeah.
Oh.
It's amazing how time flies when
so many kings coming.
Having fun.
I mean,
Samuel's been a blast.
It's been a blast. I still think that Judges has been the most action-packed book, just with all the different stories there. But Samuel definitely has been a blast. Our standards are so low for what counts as a blast.
Maybe true.
It's been fun. Oh yeah. Oh, somebody asked. We haven't had our first king. We've had 2 kings, but apparently we're gonna have million more kings.
The books are called First and Second Kings. The Book of Kings.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Interestingly, just a fun little aside, we'll probably talk about this more later, but I learned in looking into First Kings, because I'm trying to figure out the music for that, I learned that potentially both First and Second Samuel and First and Second Kings may have originally been one big text.
Whoa.
That got kind of split up into things. So,
yeah, nobody needed to read all that at once. Yikes.
Yeah, but I do think that means that this, because I have noticed that First and Second Samuel have a certain kind of storytelling style to them that's a little bit different from what we've gotten before, but is somewhat consistent, as opposed to some of the other books where it's like, now we're suddenly in a different style than before because they were probably assembled from a lot of different sources. Like even Genesis was kind of like that, where it was like jumped around to like different storytelling styles. But this has been consistent, and I think we're going to keep getting that probably through First and Second Kings.
I have to say, we have a listener in the chat, David, who says that if we thought Joshua and Judges were violent and shocking, that we ain't seen nothing yet.
Oh boy.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Do you recall that, both of you?
Oh, honestly, if like in my brain, based on my Sunday school knowledge, the books of Samuel and Kings and Chronicles all just blend together into one.
Yeah.
In my brain, I could not tell you the distinction between them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
like for me growing up, it's like you got all these different stories. Like, here throughout this, it's like, oh yeah, I remember this random thing about King David, and it's going to be the same with Solomon, and and it was the same with Saul, all that stuff. It's like stories, but at least for me, I never got to the point where we're like reading whole books, which is part of why I wanted to do this podcast so much, to actually be like, what's the real context? What's the whole thing around it?
Totally.
right.
Yeah.
Guess what? We have a toast.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stephanie, thank you so much for becoming a $12 patron.
Woo!
Here's to you. Clinky.
I gotta find something to clink it against.
I know.
Here, I'm doing Foley for all of us.
Oh,
Ooh, that was
beautiful.
nice. Yeah.
Why, thank you.
Well, cheers to Stephanie. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate it. And we hope to keep the Drunk Bible Study times coming.
A-flowing.
Coming a-flowing for a long time, because we got several more years of this book to go through.
Indeed.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, or if you want to get your own personal toast on the show, like Stephanie, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy to find out about all of that. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. And if you like the live shows, bring a friend next time.
We'll give you pizza.
Yeah.
Virtually.
You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Bible Cast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Emily Matlack, Dedeker Winston, and me, Jace Lindgren. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your day.